Now for the GHK. Fired in 3, 2, 1, go. This is us. We have been doing lots of experiments about the gunsmith, which were really cool. And luckily, we've received innumerable comments of myth, and we found this. Now, I know airsoft guns have recoils for sure. However, how does the recoil affect the whole shooting performance? Would recoil affect the accuracy? So once again, we risk our wallet for science, and let's do the myth. To kick things off, Louis suggested we head to the shooting range. This could give us a better idea of what real firearm recoil really feels like. In fact, it's Brendan's first time to shoot a real gun.
Raise a glass, you've made it another year. Happy birthday, have a laugh, crack a smile, even shed a tear. Because
don't look at us like we deal with guns all the time. To be honest, we're pretty unfamiliar with real guns. Thanks to Monkey for supervising us throughout our entire shooting session.
now we celebrate with cheer. Raise your glass to another year. Raise your glass, it's time to have
Definitely a memorable day, and we got a lot of Instagram posts that we can use.
yellow cake for
And what is recoil?
Go.
In Newton's third law, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction for the shooter. That is called recoil. When the bullet leaves the barrel and the gas suddenly releases, so the gun is pushed backwards to the shooter just like the rocket. If you want to know more details, check out this channel. And the weight and speed of the bullet are both contributed to the gun's recoil. So while we got kicked out of our shooting experience, we came up with a test plan. I went back home and took all my GBB pistols out. In order to know would recoil affect accuracy, we have to understand how's the level of different guns recoil. Here's the plan. We're gonna build two fixtures of testing. One is the recoil visualization device, and the other one is a homemade rinse and rest. This way we can observe how far the recoil will push the gun without holding it, while firing them with 12 kg green gas. Thanks to all our friends and the extra hands that turned our ideas into real things. Kind of want to find out how this one turns out. All right, let's see if it flips all the way to the back. That's weird. Fired in 3, 2, 1, go.
No!
After all our failures, we finally made our best version.
2, 1, fuck.
But factually, we ran servo tests and built up some over-idealistic and unfeasible experiments. What do we do next? Before we misbust this, here's the interesting phenomena. Where can we find an airsoft pistol that packs this noticeable punch of recoil? While we try to figure things out, we got a phone call.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening?
Brendan and I, we went on to this airsoft factory, the GHK, and meet their special assistants, Da O. And this is Lao O, the soul of GHK. We've almost certainly seen lots of incredible creations over his 14 years in the airsoft market. This thing hanging on the wall of GHK, that needs something. Then they show me this, the world's first GHK Glock 17. Oh god, this is a beautiful gun. Dude, seriously, like, it feels like the real deal. As we mentioned for the real gun, the high pressure of gas and the speed of the bullet produced strong force and recoil energy. And for airsoft gun, bullets changed into BBs and gunpowder changed into green gas or CO2. The backward momentum of the gas fires the BBs is not giving an airsoft gun as realistic as the real gun recoil. But while I fired this gun, my conception was totally blew it away.
Wow. Dude, this thing feels... Wow.
According to the airsoft market, the gas blowback system is definitely a good way for imitating and comparing the recoil reaction of a real gun. After a deep and pleasurable conversation, I did not forget to take my URGI to their chief engineer, aka squad leader, and puzzled out that issue which has troubled me for a while. So with the testing plan in place, we started to set up every structure in our warehouse.
Now that's smooth.
And for this challenge, we chose 3 Glock 17s as our contestants, starting with the fully licensed pretty boy from VFC, the much loved Value King WE. And last but not the least, the very late but no longer absent GHK. Finally, we've got our GHK Gen 3. It was time to charge the gas and fit the gun into our first quad recoil visualization device with our remotely controlled trigger bot.
Now, we got the 3 competitors right here, and according to you guys, which one has the strongest recoil? GHK? GHK.
Well, it has to be Junho Crew.
Say something else! WE?
WE?
Maybe GHK. Now for the WE Glock. Fired in 3, 2, 1, go. It's not bad. It's wow. Time for the VFC.
By the way, for fair condition, we all used 12 kg gas and charged 3 seconds.
Fired in 3, 2, 1, go. Not bad. It's not bad. Now for the GHK. Fired in 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh. Ooh.
When we look at the footage, the recoil's force of the VFC was just a bit higher than the WE, but GHK was way different than these two. The recoil was like Pow Pai's punch, it was almost off the track. So with giving a conclusive viewpoint, we got our fancy King Arms SAA .45 to be another competitor.
3, 2, 1, go.
And no doubt, there was 0.05% of recoil. Now it's time to feature some details of the brand new Glock 17. Basically, GHK just trashed the Tokyo Marui Glock system, besides the hotbar bugging and the barrel. The rest of the design were brand new and so innovative that I was having a hard time keeping my jaw closed. The full steel slide was all CNC machined to minimize the parts and give the maximum gas spacing. They went on to the AR-type air nozzle and designed it into this little Glock. The magazine is just unrealistically light, only 135 grams, and was able to fire 1.5 magazine with 3-second charge consistently in 25 degrees Celsius. The frame was made out of this high-strength nylon polymer, in which all metal parts are actually overmolded into the gun to save space and maximize durability. Right out of the box, I have to say, this feels really close to the real deal. When it comes to the feelings, the material is the key. But at the time, Jess proposed if we try different pressure of gas, will the recoil be at the same level?
Need gas? We got you guys covered.
Tough Dino. For the GBB connoisseurs who only want the finest. We only have one mic.
And since I was also a bit skeptical of the result, so we got a new myth to bust.
So what's happening here is we got this homemade rinse and rest, and this thing is going to show us how much recoil is cost from different kinds of gas. We got the 14 kg, the 12 kg, the 9 kg, and then the CO2 cartridge. And perhaps this can show us the rotational speed from each different type of the gas. We got the 9 kg inside the gun, and let's see how the recoil works. Fired in 3, 2, 1, go. Dang. Gee, 9 kg is already fast.
As you can see from our footage, 9 kg, 12 kg, 14 kg were almost at the same level. However,
Alright, now for the final one, the CO2 version. 2, 1, go.
you can see even in slow motion, the reaction happens so incredibly strong and powerful.
That was quite a bounce.
But at the same time, we will also measure the muzzle velocity with this upgraded rinse and rest V2. In a short conclusion, the muzzle velocity does increase while the pressure of gas increases. However, with the right design, even with a CO2 magazine, the muzzle velocity was only 95.4 meters per second. This is indeed lower than quite some GBB guns out there. I'm confident to say this gun with its CO2 mag is not on the scary side. Now that we got the first test out of the way, Louis brought his cool targets so we can have a little fun during our short intermission.
Stand by. Go! Go!
43 seconds and 73. Currently, that's the world record for this game.
We created lots of fun and interesting challenges, which actually really cool to share with you guys soon. And to test out our first potential myth, which has to do with, does recoil actually affect the accuracy?
So first of all, we need to find out if the BB leaves the barrel first or does the recoil happen first.
While I'm not sure if we could film this snap of a moment with our camera.
Fire in 3, 2, 1, go.
From the slow-mo, it was very clear that the BB left the barrel before the recoil started. After the BB left the barrel and the entire cycling began, which caused the recoil. Even the result was quite interesting, but I wouldn't exactly call that a clear-cut result because for the shooter, recoil may not affect the first shot. However, does the follow-up shot gets affected from the first shot recoil though? Luckily, we had another test to give us more conclusive summary. Here's the plan. We set the shooter 5 meters away from those 11 poppers, see which pistol has less miss and with shorter time to finish the course. We started with the WEG-17.
Go!
And gotta say, this was one snappy gun to fire with. The recoil was very manageable and easy to control. And for the GHK,
Stand by. Go!
I gotta say, I suffer from the recoil. It was hard to get all the poppers smoothly while the gun is kicking you this much. From the slow-mo, you can see a clear wave of fat on my arms being pushed quite a bit by the GHK Glock 17 recoil.
While recoil doesn't affect the accuracy for first shot, consistent follow-up is also very important. Andrew is very used to the normal airsoft recoil, but he's having a hard time maintaining his rhythm. Does that make it a bad gun? We like to think that makes it a good training tool.
Gee, it's hard. It's hard.
After this test, I'm confident to visual this GHK Glock would become the new standard for airsoft pistol recoil. This is possibly the first GBB pistol that kicks this much and yet very playable for airsoft games. However though, there are still some improvements can be made, such as the hop-up. Once again, the adjustment dial is still very hard to adjust. The hop-up contact actually moves around, which it will be quite troublesome to adjust effectively. A lot of fine-tuning is needed. We certainly hope this can be improved soon. That's it for the episode today. First of all, we would like to thank GHK for sending us the first GHK Glock in the world. This beauty is not for sale, and certainly it really means a lot to us. And once again, thank you guys so much for leaving all the comments down there. It really gives us some great idea for myths to bust. So make sure you jump in there and comment more, like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. And thank you, squad leader. You're the man. Maybe late.